interrupted with my last cast. I came back, bruv. We are here now. Riven Rock by T.C. Boyle. This is New Book Arrivals number 261B, since the first one failed. I don't know why it failed, but here we are. T.C. Boyle, Riven Rock. As I stated in the previous one, this book, and then this book, and another book were free at the library, so I grabbed them. What year is this? I have quite a few T.C. Boyle books. This is 1998. See what the synopsis of the story is. Maybe it's just stories themselves. Geneva, 1904, newlyweds Catherine Dexter and Stanley McCormick stand for picture on the grounds of Prangen's Catherine's Chateau in Switzerland. She is 29, the first female graduate in the sciences of MIT, and a leader in the budding women's movement. He is the youngest son of Cyrus and Natty McCormick, reluctant heir to a fortune built on the Reaper, socialite and millionaire. They are the match of the year, and they seem to have fallen in love. But Stanley isn't well. He uses things, hears voices, finds himself unable to control his violent outbursts toward women. Shortly after the marriage, he is diagnosed as a schizophrenic and sexual maniac, and his doctors, the best money can buy, lock him away at Riven Rock. He is forbidden the company of women, above all his wife. Catherine can only watch her husband and wait, crouched outside among the begonias with her binoculars like a field biologist, studying the habits of some rare wild animal. Yet she returns every year, laden with gifts and news of the outside world, continually hopeful. One day she believes one of the psychiatrists she enlists will return Stanley to her. Free of demons, a yearned-for lover, in the hands of T. Corrigan Boyle, these real characters out of American history are transformed into rich, mythic creations whose tortured love and deep sense of fidelity, set against the backdrop of wealth and privilege, will break your heart. Right, they will, bruv. The Scrabble book, winning strategies for the world's most popular word game. How to score consistently more than 300 points in every game. Oh, look, we got writing in the book. The game can end in one of three ways. The players can exhaust the tile supply, and one of them can go out. They can end the match by mutually consent if neither can place his final letters on the board. The tournament's director's 60-minute time limit can expire. The tournament director gives a 6-minute warning. Anyway. You understand Scrabble? Tony Curtis, the autobiography. When I opened this, I looked past this part where it's signed Dorothy, Tony Curtis. At least I believe it says Tony Curtis. And I'm like, hey, I'll hold on to this book until he dies. But then I found out he died in like 2010. So the book probably only has like a value of $10, but I paid $1, so if I can get... Oh, what's this? Crystal clear expression. Psychic readings. Hell yeah. This is what I love. I love it, bruv. We got psychic readings and channeled messages for personal and spiritual growth. That's a great find. It's another one I add to my collection. Got one from a lady named Lisa that I found in... stands at a sports stadium. Does that say fuck him? Tony, that's not very nice, buddy. Tony, where's Tony? Fuck him, feed him fish. What's that mean? The other America was one I knew didn't exist just for me. The movies. It wasn't just the place where cockeyed Annie and I could do the nasty. It was that whole other world. Hello, Bobs. All kinds of worlds I could escape to. I was born almost at the same time that sound movies were born. I first remember seeing something called High Wires, which was a Saturday afternoon serial about stuntmen. I was about 5 years old, and of course, I remember going to see the Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon serials and the westerns. When you're a kid, you don't know you're going to grow up. You just look at big people and you don't believe it's going to happen to you. They say when you grow up, and you say, "What the fuck does that mean?" It has no reality. What has reality is the fact that you're in a street in New York City, cold and shivery, and you go home and your mother makes you a bowl of coffee with matzos and sugar and milk in it. That wonderful kind of porridge had reality. So did potato latkes and playing in the streets with your pals and the toothaches you got from eating too much candy. Other than that, you're not quite sure who you are or what you are. And a lot of the time, you're not very happy about that or anything else. Right. Anyway, I got a signed book by Tony Curtis, even though I'm obviously not Dorothy. Tony Curtis. Alice Adams. And one of the reviews I saw said that she was an attractive woman. I was like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I mean, the cat's better looking than her. The cat's handsome. She's just just average looking woman. But I would not call her attractive by any means. But the book was free. I don't really know anything about Alice Adams. Hey, she wrote a book of Bob. I can't hate her then. I can't hate her. Paul, who the fuck are these guys? Looks like fucking Yakov Smirnoff. Where's the book of Bob? That ain't the book of Bob. Bob suffered from alarming digestive tract symptoms. The book of Bob. I thought it was Book of Bob and not Things Fall Apart. Oh, there's the book of Bob. That comes later. Chapter 28, Book of Bob, 1990 to 1992. Eager to recoup the large advance paid to Adams, Knopf launched Caroline's Daughter with style in March 1991. A high-gloss black cover with striking graphics in yellow, teal, melon, and lavender. Why the fuck would you allow that picture to be your author bio picture? Just fucking grinning like you just got done drinking 50 gallons of wine. I don't understand. Sick. Alice had tried to break up with Dan Simon before she heard her cancer diagnosis. When she told him about it, he stepped up as the medical advisor she needed to guide her through the delicate process of determining the best treatment. Simon believed that Alice's internist had mishandled her case by treating her for sinusitis. How the fuck do you say that? Sinusitis? What a stupid. While the tumor in her nasal cavity and sinuses was threatening her optic nerve and the base of her brain, Dr. Mark Singer, who discovered the tumor, has pointed out that its location and rapidly growing type made it extremely difficult to diagnose. Who's this M person? I guess I'll never know. Hi. Hello, bruv. You're a Fortnite king? Why the fuck are you in a room on books? Origins. Agatha and Nick. He left too. Good job. Fortnite. Get the fuck out of here. And this book, finally. Although, like I said, this is part B of the video, since the first half shut off. Removed from library connection, the pattern in the carpet, a personal history with jigsaws. By Margaret Drabble. I believe that the first edition had a cover similar to this. This new generic cover was something new. Oh no, who is it? Can you stop being mean? I will report you. All right. How's that being mean? I'm not mean, bruv. Actually, maybe it was a little mean. Welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe and donate tens of thousands of dollars to me. There's half a heart. Heart. Is that better? This book was not a memoir, although parts of it may look like a memoir, nor is it a history of the jigsaw puzzle, although that is what it was once meant to be. It is a hybrid. I have always been more interested in content than in form. I have never been a tidy writer. My short stories would sprawl. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hearts. Hearts. Send me $15,000, please. Like and subscribe. My short stories would sprawl into novels, and one of my novels spread into a trilogy. This book started off as a small history of the jigsaw, but it has spiraled off in another. How many times have you said spiral or sprawl? Into other directions, and now I am not sure what it is. I first thought of writing about jigsaws in the autumn of 2005. When my young friend Danny Hahn asked me to nominate an icon for a website, this government-sponsored project was collecting English icons to compose a portrait of England at a time when Englishness was the subject of much discussion. At random, I chose the jigsaw and jigsaw, an icon. You can find what I said. I knew little about jigsaws at this point, but soon discovered that they were indeed an English invention as well as a peculiarly English pastime. I then conceived the idea of writing a longer article on the subject, perhaps even a short book. This, I thought, would keep me busy for a while. I had recently finished a novel which I intended to be my last. Oh my God, this preamble, in which I believed myself to have achieved the state of calm and equilibrium. I was pleased with the sea lady and at peace with the world. It had been well understood by those whose judgment I most value, and I had said what I wanted to say. I liked the idea of writing something that would take me away from fiction into a primary world of facts and pictures, and I envisaged a brightly colored illustrated book glinting temptingly from the shelves of gallery and museum shops amongst the greeting cards, mugs, and calendars portraying images from Van Gogh and Monet. It would make a pleasing Christmas present, packed with gems of esoteric information that I would gather, magpie-like, from libraries and toy museums and conversations with strangers. I would become a jigsaw expert. It would fill my time pleasantly, inoffensively. I didn't think anyone had done it before. I would write a harmless little book that, unlike two of my later novels, would not upset or annoy anybody. It didn't work out like that. Not long after I conceived of this project, my husband, Michael Holroyd, was diagnosed with an advanced form of ASMR, bruv. Form of cancer, and we entered a regime of radiotherapy and chemotherapy, all too familiar to many of our age. We endured 2 major operations of hitherto unimaginable horror, and our way of life changed. He dealt with this with his usual appearance of detachment and stoicism. But as the months went by, I felt myself sinking deep into the paranoia and depression from which I thought, oh my God, you should have just not wrote the book. Wonder if she's got any pictures. Any pictures, bro? No, that's it. All right. There's part B of this. If you really care about the rest of the books, watch part A. For whatever reason, it shut me off the first time. But this is part B of the entire bag of books that I found today. Goodbye.